The corruption in the Premier League knows no bounds, and we saw it yet again in almost identical circumstances to what we saw in this very same fixture 2 years ago. But make no mistake about it, even without that, Forest couldn't score in a goddamn brothel. Welcome to Forest 0, LiVARpool 1. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to the match reaction for what happened yesterday. Coming up, we will talk about the corruption in the Premier League, especially towards the likes of LiVARpool. We will talk about Forest in particular. I mean, we are a Forest channel. We've got to talk about the one big issue that's clear to see. Doesn't matter if it's Vitor, if it's Sean Dyche, if it's Ange, even if it was Nuno. There's one common denominator going on at Forest right now. And yeah, let's just get into it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hype, all the rest. So let's get the corruption bit out of the way because I can't believe what I saw. I actually watched Match of the Day and that show in itself, what the hell's happened to it? And I thought I just want to hear what they're going to say about the corruption with the offside. Nothing. Zip. Nothing at all about it. I couldn't believe my ears and eyes. They didn't even mention it. That was so blatantly offside, it's ridiculous. Forget the way they photoshopped Ola Aina's ankle into the picture, because show me where they got that image from in the first place. Forget that. Ekitike is miles offside and he is interfering in play because he has got Aina's attention. By the rules of the law, that's offside. You've seen it before in recent matches where Harry Maguire had a similar situation and was deemed to be interfering in play in pretty identical circumstances, and that was given offside. This stupid PGLOL run by Howard Red Webb is not fit for purpose. It's as simple as that. And the semi-automated system, I've seen people messaging saying, yeah, but it's semi-automated system. Like, that has to be true, doesn't it? The word semi should be a giveaway to you. It's not a semi-hard-on or anything like that, man. Semi-automated means that humans are intervening in it. They need to get the right frame. That's humanly done. They need to remove players from it. Like if there's a mesh of players together, they've got to remove them. And then they need to Photoshop in Ola Aina's ankle. So it's a complete joke. No one will convince me that that was onside. But let's move on from there because I'm sick of the corruption. We saw it 2 years ago when the ref gave the ball literally back to Liverpool in basically similar circumstances and they scumbagged their way to a win. Let's talk about the Forest issues. And there's only one Forest issue. If you look at the midfield yesterday, Sangare, you had Anderson and Gibbs-White. I thought they were all excellent. Forest completely dominated that first half, bringing Liverpool's XG down to 0.06, and Forest created chances. One in particular that springs to mind is the one that came after a couple of minutes with Hudson-Odoi. And yes, you lot are going to say in the comments agenda, but how much more evidence do you guys need that this guy just isn't it? He's not scoring now. He's a one-trick pony. He had to score that chance. That puts us on the front foot, the momentum, the crowd behind it, and everything else. New manager bounce. I don't know why he's playing. I don't. But he's not the main issue. Well, he's part of the main issue. Forest's main issue right now is scoring goals. 52 shots in our last 2 Premier League games. 0 goals. 0 goals. Forest need to lift the ban on Bonnie Blue because that may be the only way we score in the City ground going forward. Because right now I don't see where the goals are coming from. Jesus is a beast in the Europa League. But when it comes to the Premier League, he had a chance yesterday and he stood there as like, yeah, come on, ball, you come to me. You come to me. Instead of trapping the ball, maybe getting a penalty, getting his shot off early. If that was in the Europa League, he gets to that ball first and he puts it into the back of the net. These are all major issues that need to be solved. And as good as Anderson is and Sangare is, they can't shoot. Well, Sangare can, but Anderson has had 1 goal in the Premier League. 1 goal. It's just not good enough, the output we are seeing in terms of goals. It can be as pretty as it was in the first half. And that first half was beautiful. I love that style of play. The movement, the tempo, the patterns of play, the organization, it was all there to see. But it all means nothing if you can't put that damn ball in the back of the net. And we've struggled with that all season. 35 shots against Wolves. 35, 6-on-1. And we don't put it in the back of the net. We don't have a goal scorer. Well, we do, but we shipped him off to the Bundesliga. That still baffles me that Callum Mwenda was let go and we brought Luca in, and I'm done with Luca. He's a dud. I'm saying it right now, an absolute dud. Cancel Callum Mwenda's loan, bring him back, or just swap him with Luca. Give him Luca. Give him Luca, give him Taiwo, give him any other player that can't hit the net, and just get Callum Mwenda back because he can score goals. This is what we're missing, a goal scorer. It's just so frustrating because I'm really enjoying what Vitor Pereira is doing in terms of the football, the style, and everything else he's producing. But when we get into that penalty box, we're just rabbits in the headlight. That's all it is. How is it going to change? We have to score goals. That's the key thing. Oh, it's so frustrating. It really is. Honestly, we should have at least got a point out of that. I think we should have won. Everyone's been talking about how crap Liverpool were because they're idiots. They should be talking about how good Forest were for the majority of that game. Because we're just so bad in front of goal. And what happens now? We play on Thursday, be so Forest if we blow a 3-goal lead. Vitor Pereira has already hinted heavily that players will be rotated because they're tiring, because the press gave up. And he is right in what he says. I don't think Liverpool got back into that game. I think Forest started to tire and sat back. And I will question some of those substitutes. Now, I did say that it's within his kind of right to have a look at all of these players and bring them on. Backwell was pretty crap when he came on, I can't lie. And Doy just does nothing, man. Send him to the bloody Bundesliga and bring me back Callum Mwenda. And Luca is just so bad. I would have put Zach Abbott up front ahead of him. I don't know what they're seeing in Luca. He's got no pace, no presence. I'm yet to see him win an aerial duel competitively. But he scored 1 goal against Leeds, so that must make him the best thing since Stan Collymore. I don't know. I just wish, here's what I wish. When they got rid of Ange, they should have gone for Vitor Pereira. Because I don't know if he's got enough time to get things ticking over. Because his style of play is really good and will work for these players. It's just the clock is ticking. But the bigger mistake in all of this is they should have got rid of Dyche 3 matches ago before we played Wolves, before we played Palace, and before we played Leeds. That was the key 3 fixtures. We had to get more than the 2 points we got out of there. We've shot ourselves in the foot. We should have beaten Wolves. We should have beaten Palace. That would have given us, 4 extra points? That would have put us ahead of Spurs, probably ahead of Leeds. I can't even bring myself to look at the table anymore. And instead, we're doing the most Forest thing ever. But what I will say is we are used to this more so than a Tottenham. Tottenham are going to be in big trouble. Their games stink. But unless we get some points on the board, we just get ahead of them. They won't re-overtake us. We have to beat Brighton now because we've got Man City coming up after that. Maybe we can get something out of Fulham at home. And then it's the big one against Spurs. That could be the decider. This is now on a knife edge. And throw in between all of those potential Europa League matches. Buckle up, guys. This is going to be a rough 11 game weeks. It really is. Do you think we stay up? Do you think we win the Europa League? Do you think we win the Europa League and go down? Or do you think the arse just falls out of everything right now? Get your thoughts in down below. There will be a Grumpy Old Reds. I've no idea what time. We'll get that put together. Make sure you've liked and subscribed. I'm frustrated, but not at the play. I'm just frustrated at the scenario we've put ourselves in. We are not a team that should be where we are.